Buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers. I drank my coffee already. It's not a coffee chat for me.
I made an extra cup. I added decaf.
Did you really just to have coffee?
I added a decaf cup after I almost finished my regular.
Who's on? I'm gonna go to the channel so we can watch ourselves.
Ooh, that's good.
I really like this new thumbnail.
It's a combo.
I really like this new thumbnail.
I like it too.
Oh my goodness, so many people.
I knew I was gonna flip my
Jen
hair
is
in 2
on.
seconds.
Jen has a question already.
Ooh, yay.
All right, we'll get to that question, Jen, in a second. Becky's on. Maria, Jennifer, Pamela. Bubbles has rules.
That's Karen.
I love that name.
I love it.
Good morning. She's got a question as well. Okay. She's got, oh, well, you know what, Karen, I'm going to do your question now because it's part of our beginning of the show announcements.
Ooh, okay.
Got to put my question in before I forget. I thought I saw a notification that the location for the 920 meetup changed. Do you know what hotels are near there? I'm planning to stay. It didn't change. We actually just
Picked one.
picked a spot. So it's still in Reston. It's at Fairfax Lake Park in Reston, Virginia on September 20th. We're 15 miles away from Dulles International Airport. There are hotels all over the place.
Yes.
So you should be able to find something. I don't know specifically. We haven't coordinated with the hotel.
First, if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
we're hosting a meetup.
Well, I was going to get to that, but I was answering your question.
We're hosting a meetup September 20th here in Virginia, like you said, right near Dulles Airport. So you can even fly in.
Yeah,
For those
it's like
of you
we're
who are
right
out
here.
of state, fly into Dulles and come see us, come hang with us. It is super chill. It's just going to be think backyard cookout style. We're going to be at, like you said,
Fairfax Lake Park. Yeah, we got a pavilion. What's up, Dustin? It is not let's get some people together and have some, a talk.
It's not a seminar.
This is literally, guys, we want to meet people in the area. We want to get to know people. We want to share and just have a community and fellowship and just kind of get to know. Number one, we don't get out a lot. We don't have a lot of friends. So getting to know people in the area would be nice.
We don't have much of a social life.
It would be really cool to kind of meet people that are.
So DMV people, come see us.
DMV or Nova. Do you want me to bring a cornhole board? You can never go wrong with cornhole. Bring cornhole. Go for it. Have a blast.
Bring games, bring food.
It's potluck, so bring food. We'll probably bring some just in case there's a shortage.
Yes.
Either that or maybe I'll just go to Mission and bring a bunch. I'm not sure I'm going to feel like cooking, although there will be a grill there.
Oh, yeah.
There will be a grill, so
We
if
can
you want to
grill.
bring stuff, we can cook it on the grill. So first off, if you want to, RSVP, go to my YouTube, or my Facebook page. I have an event on Facebook. You're tagged in it, so I don't know if you have it pinned or if you
I
have it on
am
yours.
also a host.
You're a host, yeah. So on Facebook, Nova Meetup, RSVP there, and then that's where we're putting information. So I should probably put a link to that in the description here.
You should, yes.
And then that will work. Okay, don't let me forget that.
Okay.
So September 20th. Hope that answers your question, Karen.
Put a link in the description.
You're not me. You can't do that.
I gotta give him a taste of his own medicine.
That's something that I would do to her.
I tell him to remind me something, and he reminds me immediately.
Immediately. Don't forget. Okay, so that's that. Hope that answers your question, Karen. Let's see. I think that's it for now. We'll get to Jen's question. We can get to that actually while we're talking because it's about coffee.
Okay, and since we're talking about coffee, we should talk about Keto Brains.
Keto Brains.
So shout out to Keto Brains first off because they sent an email about us today.
Yes.
So if you are on their email list, then you saw that, and it was a shout out to Coffee Chat.
Coffee Chat, the keto power couple.
That's what they called us. I like that. Should we change?
What makes us a power couple?
We should use that.
What makes us a power couple?
We're powerful.
What?
That's what makes us a powerful.
What was that little?
We are powerful.
Oh my God.
You guys tell us, what makes us a power couple?
if it will fit in the car, I'll bring it, yes.
Becky got her keto brains.
Oh, my cornhole set is in
Storage, which is not even in Virginia.
No.
Still in Maryland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we could bring cornhole, but we can't. I'm not driving 2 hours just to get a cornhole board.
If we're driving up there, we can go hang out with Karen at her home.
Where?
She's in Maryland.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I see, Dustin says, I see Keto Power Couple merch coming.
Ooh, yes.
We haven't really had a lot of luck with merch.
No.
I don't know if we have a big enough following.
Well, I also we also don't really promote it.
I mean, no, we don't. I mean, I have a store and I've got a ton of stuff on there. But
I do too. But we don't.
We don't really talk about it.
It's not prominently displayed anywhere. We don't really talk about it.
Right.
Pamela said we have common goals. That's what makes us a power couple.
Okay.
Karen says you're a power couple because you hit all the things: fitness, nutrition, the science.
Which brings up our third announcement and mention. So also with the keto brains, don't forget, if you're engaged in this episode, you ask questions, you comment, things like that. At the end, we will randomly pick somebody to win a bag of keto brains.
Yes.
Stay till the end. If you're not here, you don't get it.
Ask good questions.
Yep.
Engage, participate.
All the good things.
Comment, all the things.
Try to argue any point, and you will be destroyed on all fronts. Unless you're right. No. Okay.
Some people are right.
The science piece. Guys, I am really, really excited about this. And I want more people to join this because the more people, the better. I want to get all the views, all the perspectives, all the insights. And I also want to help people learn how to review and critique literature, right? So this is partly for me because I want to have nerd friends and I can have these conversations with, because she starts getting cross-eyed when I start talking about things very much. And she's like, I'm listening, but I'm really not
here's
interested.
The thing. I love this. I told him yesterday, I would love to be able to spend more of my time, if I had more time, to spend on actually reading studies and diving in, because I love that. I actually love to go through the details.
We
were doing last night.
Yeah.
Go through the details and determine, was this a well-run study? And honestly, I think 99% of the time they're not. It's just not the way I would have done it if I really wanted to if I really wanted to come to a solid conclusion, I wouldn't do it the way most of them are doing it. And I know that there are limitations. There are so many limitations with running studies. There's only so much you can do, and sample sizes and time frames and budgets and all of that. I get it. But it's like, what we were frustrated about last night is like,
conclusions with
you're
things.
you're doing all that. You're spending the budget. You're getting the participants. You're doing all this. And then it's like it's half-assed. It's like, it's not half-assed, but there are things that are missed. And if you hadn't missed those things, it would have been so much more powerful.
Right.
And you spent all those resources anyway. And it's like, if you would have just done this one thing,
it would have connected things a lot better. It would have, the conclusions in many cases that we're finding, the conclusions or the title, even what they're calling it, when they make a claim in the title of the study, and then you read it and you're like, no, that you can't say this is what is happening with this is the data you're presenting. Now, we don't know, and they're not good sometimes. This is what we were looking at a study. The study that we're reviewing, and this is what we're talking about, is I'm starting a science club. I want everybody to join it, okay? Every 2 weeks, every other week, we're gonna get together on a Zoom call. We're gonna pick a study. We're gonna review it. I've got handouts on the process of reviewing studies. I've got cheat sheets on what different terms and things mean. I've got a whole thing set up so that you can join the science club. You can be a geek and a nerd of health and nutrition science and fitness science, exercise science like me, and we can talk about, what does this study, we pick a study every 2 weeks, what is this study about? What are the things people are saying about the study, the conclusions? Is it a well-run study? Did they structure it well? Did they do the conclusions make sense? And then the most important part of it is, how does this actually affect us in real life?
Yes.
Because you said it the best. We tend to get into all of these scientific discussions and the mechanisms, but the point of science is to help us figure out how to change our lives, not to dictate anything. Science doesn't determine, science informs. You determine.
So,
and that's what we want to, it's the context.
We should talk about the frustration we had the other day watching a video.
Well, we can go into that. Well, let's finish this because that's on the list. That's on the list.
Well, then we should talk about our new format.
I was going to do that as well. So I just want to finish on the Science Club. So Science Club, go to my Discord. Okay, and if anybody, we've had a few people join the Discord and they've had trouble trying to figure out how to get into the club. Go into the Discord, discord.coachbronson.com. When you're in the Discord on the webpage, because unfortunately right now, the subscription shop on the app doesn't work. Discord, for some reason, you have to go to the website.
Womp womp.
So if you go to the website of the Discord, join the server, go to the shop, and then subscribe to the Science Club, it will get you access to the Science Club channel, and then you'll be able to get all the information. Right? If you're not in the Science Club channel, you won't know what the Zoom, you won't know what the meeting link is, you won't know what the schedule or the topic is, things like that. So do that. It's going to be a blast. There's a few people in there now. I'd love to get more. If you're interested in the science, if you're interested in learning how to determine if the information you're hearing is actually valid and is something you can apply or should apply to your life, this is something you need to do. There is no other thing out there like this. That's another thing to think about, guys. There is no other, in any space that I've ever been in or that I'm a part of now, other than people who are trying to get higher education or people who are trying to get a certification and be a professional in health and fitness and wellness. There is nothing that is like this to just help people learn how to look at the information and figure out what makes sense. Right? So this is the only place you're going to get this kind of support. Right? You can get coaching, that's great. Coaches aren't going to help you understand how to read science. Right? But we will in the Science Club. So Coach Bronson Science Club, all about this guy and information and how to apply it.
And you get to recommend studies. You get to say what you want to.
When you and that's the cool thing about the community piece, right? So every other week we'll talk about a specific study, but there's a community of people. If you see something on a random day and you're like, hey, I just saw this, what do you think? Post it, link it, and we'll have a conversation about it. And if it's a big enough thing, maybe that becomes the next thing that we look at, right? So it's just going to be a really cool environment, and the more people, the better. So, all right, that being said, new format you want to go into?
Yeah.
Because I know you were really like, oh, this is awesome. It's kind of for us, but for you guys too.
Yes. So instead of having a topic, one main topic we're going to address on these coffee chats, we're compiling a list of things that are hot button topics for us throughout the week that pop up that get us hyped or frustrated or
curious or that's cool or new, whatever it may be.
So these chats are now kind of going back to more of a chat format, the way it was when we had our podcast way back.
Just random, well, kind of podcast. We still had topics, but
Did we really? Yeah, we did a lot.
Yeah, we did have more things, but
yeah. So it's more than one topic each week.
Well, we have no idea each week what it's going to be. So we're not going to put a
grab
title.
Bag of things.
Yeah, we're not going to put a title up anymore each week. It's going to be just coffee chat and come and find out what we're going to talk about because we won't know until that week what it's going to be.
And
there might be stuff that
suggest things
pops up while we're on the call. Oh, what about this? Right?
You could say, hey guys, can you add this to your list for coffee chat next week?
Yes, absolutely. Please let us know. Popcorn with coffee talk. Coffee chat, whatever pops up.
Popcorn, yes.
Popcorn. Okay. Let's look at topics. The first thing that we were talking about, why were we talking about this?
What?
Coffee.
Caffeine.
Coffee, caffeine. Caffeine, coffee.
How did it come up?
Caffeine. How do we flip that? Caffeine, caffeine? Caffeine, caffeine.
Oh, being a slow or fast metabolizer of coffee.
Why did that come up though? Do you remember?
Because I was watching a Dr. Tina video.
Oh, you were talking about how Dr. Tina is your people because she was trying to
She was highly defending coffee.
Right. That's right. That's right. And the question was, how do you know if you're a fast or slow metabolizer of coffee or caffeine?
That's what you said was, well, I wonder if there's a way that you can tell.
Right. And we found out there is a scientific way. There's a gene, a specific gene expression, which I can open it up. I got it here. Hold on. If you want to know the specifics.
Yeah, because you were wondering if there was a test you could do to find out.
Right.
Now, there is a very simple, practical way that you can know.
Right. So we'll talk about this, the blood. If you want to get a gene test to find out specifically. Now, this is one of those things. Does it matter? Maybe it does. Whether you need to get gene testing, I don't know about that.
I don't think you need testing. I think you can easily tell whether or not you are, and it does matter.
There is a specific gene, CYP1A2, that if you have an AA variant, you are typically high metabolizer. If you have an AC or a CC variant, you are a slow metabolizer. Right?
So what does that even mean? Let's first explain what
metabolizing. How well does your body break it down and either use it or get rid of it?
Right.
That's basically.
So you may have heard that coffee has a half-life of, 6 hours?
Something like that.
Something like that. So what does that mean, a half-life? It's essentially how long it takes
in your body
to get it out, right? Or to no longer have that caffeine acting on your system. So if you are a fast metabolizer, you are likely one of those people who has said this before. I can drink espresso right before bed and sleep perfectly.
Yeah.
You're a fast metabolizer. Now, I will say, the grand majority of people still are going to have some disruption to sleep if we're talking you're drinking coffee right before bed.
I know people that are like 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, they're still drinking coffee. They go to bed at 10. And they're like, I sleep like a rock. I'm like, you probably don't sleep as good as you think you do. And if you stopped, you might sleep better.
Right.
That's one of those things where it's like you don't know how good it can be until you stop it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Just because it feels like it's what you're used to.
Right. So even fast metabolizers, it's still not recommended to drink caffeinated beverages close to your bedtime.
Or all day long. We've had clients that don't drink anything but coffee.
Yes, we have.
No water, no like it's just coffee all the time.
All day.
It's like, oh my gosh.
So typically the recommendation is stop drinking at afternoon because of this 6 to 8 hour window. And so if you're a slow metabolizer, it could be 12 hours for you.
Or it could be longer than the 6 for sure.
So this is why it is important to pay attention at least to your
Ow, you just stabbed me.
You're so
She's trying to kill me.
So dramatic. This is why it matters though. If you are a slow metabolizer for you, and it's not just the sleep. The sleep is a big one, even drinking coffee early in the day could still be negatively impacting your sleep. Mm-hmm. But another thing, if you get jitters, if you get anxiety, if you get heart palpitations, if you notice things like that when you're drinking caffeine,
you're a slow metabolizer.
And those are signs that this is not optimal for you. And this is where we can look for all the research in the world. You can go to Dr. Tina to hear all the good things about coffee. You can go to Maria Emmerich to hear about all the bad things about coffee. And you can just choose. They're all going to give you science to back up what they're saying.
Correct. And this is where the application, right? Because
this is the application.
Maybe it's the 6 cups a day. That's the problem. That's the problem. And if you went to 2, you might not have those same issues. It's the dose, the timing, the quantity, like all of the repetition. Like there's a lot of factors that go into these things. Yes. And you cannot just say coffee is bad, and you can't just say coffee is good. How does it work for you? If you're not asking that question about everything, then you're missing something. Seriously.
Now, there was another interesting thing that I was curious about once we got into the metabolizing.
Yes. Which one was that?
Does your ethnicity signify being a better or a faster or slower metabolizer?
Right.
Because what I had thought of initially was in Europe, particularly Italy, for example, you will see people out at cafes late at night drinking espresso or affogato, which is espresso poured over ice cream, late at night. They go to sleep later too, typically. And I was like, I'm curious, similar to dairy, right? Based on your ethnicity and essentially your evolution as a culture, are people by ethnicity better, slower or faster metabolism?
Yeah.
Metabolizers?
And according to ChatGPT, just doing a quick search, East Asian populations are more typically slow metabolizers. Middle Eastern and Mediterranean is mixed. And Africans, higher prevalence of fast metabolizers.
But it varies by region and ancestry. That's interesting.
Yep. Northern Europeans, higher prevalence of fast metabolizers.
So, bingo,
of course, that's
just what I thought.
Generic info. Nothing means that may or may not apply to you regardless, but interesting information.
Yeah. It is interesting. There's actually data on how menopause affects different ethnicities. It's very interesting. So I'll have to do something on that later because I don't have that all readily available. So sorry if you want to know the answer to that.
So I thought that was just an interesting.
Put on the AC. It's getting warm.
Okay, that's because you're too
my
close
hair.
to me. You're too close to me.
I know. You're so hot-blooded.
So that was caffeine, and then I saw a video with Sam Sulik where he was saying something, and normally I don't.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Just he's very much a bro. I don't think you can get any more bro than Sam Sulik. And most of the information that he talks is just it's bro science. Doesn't have any actual applicability.
About coffee.
Somebody made a comment about coffee?
Yes.
Pamela said she's slow. Aaron inspired. So interesting since there's a study with how caffeine affects estrogen levels in different ethnicities. I can see that.
Makes sense. Yep.
Most coffee grows in Africa, and Europeans were the explorers that brought stuff back.
Oh.
Okay. Hey guys,
sense.
John Carnivore Muscle says hi.
What up, Jonathan?
But did you die? I don't know what Julianne said.
That was something else, I'm sure. Okay.
All right.
Just thought we'd wrap up the
coffee talk
discussion.
All right, next topic.
We literally did a coffee talk today.
We did a coffee talk about coffee talk. Listening to good old Sam Sulik.
Okay, Sam Sulik. So what
You don't know who
was it
Sam
that
Sulik is. He's a
triggered
bodybuilder. He's a big on YouTube. It's been a couple of years now that he started his channel, and it's just blown up.
Yeah.
Basically watching his progression of just training and trying to get ready to be, getting into bodybuilding.
And just
he just did his first show earlier this year or last year, something like that. But anyways, he's huge, big influencer, very much bro science. Doesn't really have any education other than what he's read and what he's done himself, which means something. And I want to make very clear. You can be wrong about the science, and I see this all the time.
Oh, this is a lot of the bro science stuff.
You can be wrong about the science and still make progress and still be really, really high level in what you're doing. Okay? So understanding that in many cases, consistent applied effort will beat any science, however you look at it. And this is the whole debate between evidence-based and science-based lifting when we get into bodybuilding specifically, or strength training, is all the science-based people, this is the specific, perfect way you're supposed to do something. And the evidence folks are like, guys, we've been lifting for 60 years without all that stuff. And we've got Arnold's and we've got Ronnie Coleman's and we've got, I don't think that detail really matters.
Yep.
And that's the same in health and nutrition. Right? We can talk about the science-based stuff all day long, and it's good to understand how those things fit into what you're doing every day, but you don't do things based on that. Right? That is you do things that are working, right? So there's a balance. They play together, but it's not one or the other. You have to find a way to bring the two things together to find your solution.
Yep.
Okay.
So
anywho, what he was talking about, he said a comment that I don't normally
Listen,
glom onto. You said that earlier this week.
Other day.
Glom onto things that he says, but this was a really good one. He said, "Don't just try to lift heavy weight. Make the weight heavy."
Oh, that, yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh, I like how he said that."
Because say what you always say.
Because I always say, and it's a little bit different, but kind of applies.
Yeah.
The whole process of getting stronger, the whole process of improving, or progressive overload, you hear us talk about that, is make something hard easy and then make it hard again. That's how you get better. Yeah. If I can lift 10 pounds and it's really hard when I lift 10 pounds, I keep lifting 10 pounds until it's easy, and then I try to lift 15 pounds. And it's going to be hard again. And then I keep doing that until 15 pounds is easy. And then I go to 20 pounds and make that, you can't get better without challenge, right? But what he's talking about is kind of bringing that in and working it with the idea of what we call mind-muscle connection. If you can't feel the muscle that you're trying to use being used, then you're probably not working that muscle. If I'm trying to work on my bicep and I'm not feeling it in my bicep, I'm feeling it in my shoulder, I'm swinging my body around, whatever it may be, then I'm not actually making the weight focused on the target.
You know what?
Right?
That brings up another one of these debates with the science evidence-based lifters these days.
It's the whole stability thing.
They're all debunking mind-muscle connection.
Right. It drives me crazy.
Right. This gets to the point of why you were frustrated the other day with the Nick Norowitz video we were watching. Because people will share these science-based...
Oh, right. I didn't even have that on the list.
People will share the evidence of things and then not help people understand how it applies to them.
Right. Why does it even
just
matter?
Share it. Right? So if you're watching these people saying mind-muscle connection doesn't matter for muscle growth, and you all of a sudden throw the baby out with the bathwater because they said that, and you're like, I don't have to worry about feeling the muscle anymore. You could be doing exercises completely wrong.
Yeah.
Perfect example, just swinging the weight around because you're not worried about feeling it in your biceps. And then all of a sudden you get an injury in your shoulder because you're slinging weights.
I've heard this whole mind muscle, there is no, what's the meme? Things I'm not falling for in 2025. I've been seeing that, and mind muscle connection keeps popping up. And I'm just like, how are we trying to talk about that mind muscle connection not being a thing?
Well, you know what? This gets to, there's so
I don't
many
understand
things. You know what it is? You know what I think it comes down to? The freaking algorithms.
Well,
everybody's playing to the algorithm, so they like to say things that sound controversial because they're going to get more engagement.
Yeah.
But what they're not thinking about is how they're impacting people.
Right.
And that pisses me off to no extent.
And this kind of leads into one of the topics we do have on.
So if they say something against a very popular concept, then people are going to be interested in what they have to say about it. But they never fully extrapolate what they're saying or explain anything to a greater degree in that post.
And this is the challenge that I have when I see scientists, PhDs, and doctors explaining the science and not including the context. A lot of research scientists, I'm going to say specifically research scientists, PhDs whose job is to do research. And
academia.
This is one of the things that is also one of the reasons why I'm not going for my PhD and I'm going for my DHSC instead. I'm going for an applied doctorate degree, not a research doctorate degree, because I want to do research in the pursuit of application, not in the pursuit of information.
Woo!
And there's a difference, okay? So when PhDs get on social media and they just share information, it's literally like taking a trash bag and throwing it out a 10-story window. Because what do we do with this? Okay,
yes.
great.
Yes.
There's this hormone that does this thing in a lab, a specific environment, in a petri dish, in whatever it is. What does that actually mean to how do I get better in my performance? How do I improve my health? How do I apply this to meet the goals that I'm trying to meet?
Yep.
And it's great information, but to go out on social media and just share this information willy-nilly,
yeah,
it's screwing people up.
Yeah. Yep.
So just take that information, guys, with a grain of salt and understand that information is good, but information without context is not helping you.
And single studies.
That's a whole, oh my God.
Think about a lot of the people out there, a lot of the influencers and gurus out there are sharing single studies. One study and what this particular study had to say. And you see this a lot in Thomas DeLauer's content.
All of them.
He'll go into every single
All
video.
of them. I've seen
this study said this. This study said that.
Menno is probably the only person I know who looks at meta. He looks at meta-analysis and critical and systematic reviews more than anybody, and looks at the breadth of data and doesn't just say, well, this one's, now he does do that still too.
He does that sometimes, and he does the sensationalism too.
Right, exactly.
Like debunking things. Right. And a lot of the time his stuff, same thing, ends in, well, we don't know, so just do this anyway.
And this is the other thing. The other thing that people don't understand. Israel is the biggest one for this. It drives me absolutely up a wall. They'll spend 45 minutes of an hour-long video explaining all of this stuff and trying to make a case for something. This is the next best thing. And then the last 5 minutes of their video is, but we're not really sure. This was only one study. Take everything with a grain of salt. We can't specifically say this. And it's like,
what was the point of that?
What was the point of that whole 45 minutes you just spent?
Yep.
If you're then going to, at the very end, right? No one's making it to the end, right? And they're going to spend the first 20 or 30 minutes listening to you talk about how awesome this thing is. And then you're going to backpedal because you know that you're not putting things in the right contexts and you're just trying to get views.
Yep. And my mind always, as a coach, my mind always goes to, what was the point of this? How is this supposed to help people?
Right.
And that's my biggest gripe with especially the sensationalism stuff or the debunking, right? It's, okay, you're doing something like, all the people out there saying there's nothing wrong with sugar substitutes and non-nutritive sweeteners. And it's like, okay, but how is that supposed to help people? All these people out there saying, drink all the Diet Coke you want.
Right.
Eat all of this shitty food.
Here's the thing.
There's nothing wrong with seed oils, right? Wait, how is this helping people? You're literally, what you're saying is sending people backwards. And I don't even understand the point.
I do.
What is it?
It's different than ours. The reason this frustrates us is because we're trying to help people.
Yeah.
They're not. They're trying to make money. They're trying to build a brand. They're trying to build a reputation. They're trying to build status. They're trying to be experts in something and make their case for why they should be listened to.
Sensationalism sells.
They're not trying to help people.
So, you know what? This is the takeaway.
I mean, I don't know any of them specifically.
But this is the takeaway.
I just wanted to make it clear. I can't say that for a fact. But the evidence of what's happening in the industry would lead me to believe that most people who are influencers in this space are not actually trying to help people.
Yes. And I will say,
because they would be doing things differently if they were.
It tends to be the largest channels, right? Because what you all don't know, this is what I try to get my clients to understand, because they get confused by this, and this is why it bothers us so much. They're confusing the hell out of people. And they're playing to what I always talk about, the limbic brain, right? This emotional part of our brain that wants to binge and eat all the junk food and live this old unhealthy life we had that we're trying to get away from. And these things play on that and trigger you like the damn sugar diet, right? Everybody's like so interested because it's, oh, you mean I can go back to eating all the things that I cut out of my diet and lose weight faster? Great, right? They know that they're doing that. And what you're not seeing, what I try to talk about a lot with my ladies, is helping them understand that the grand majority of what you see out there in social media, on YouTube, especially with the biggest channels, because the biggest channels are monetized. And what you don't understand is what it takes to get to that level.
And stay there.
It is not that they happened to go viral, that they happened to be putting out great information, that people just shared and they organically grew. No massively large channel organically grew to where they are. They put a ton of money and resources, and those individuals who are running that channel did not do that on their own. They hired people who know marketing and editing and the algorithms and ads to get to where they are. Do you think if you put thousands, tens of thousands of dollars into a channel, that you are doing that channel just out of the goodness of your heart to share information for people?
I think there are. I think there are people who have
cover their expenses.
Sure, but I think
at the very bottom, they have to cover what they're spending to get their channel to where it is.
But I think there's, and I don't want what she's saying to be confused with, there are people that I believe, and I'll give you two examples, who I think really are trying to help people who have done all of what you said, but they're doing it because they have a mission to help.
Yes.
And they need to, they need the business is their vehicle. That's what we're trying to do. We build our businesses to be like that.
Right.
Dr. Barry, Judy Cho. I think the two of them are probably one of the biggest examples. Dr. Tro, but he's not even as big as they are. He's not even that. Yeah, but same thing. Dr. Tro, Dr. Dr. Barry, Judy Cho, Dr. Tro. Judy Cho, Dr. Tro.
Anthony Chafee, I would put in that category.
Yeah. Yep. They're big, and they put a ton of money and time into their platforms, but it's because they are trying to help. Here's how you know. They don't spout generic scientific data.
Yes.
The information that they're putting out is educational, which means it can be applied.
Yep.
That's the difference. It's things that they're doing to actually help people make decisions in their day-to-day life.
And you talked about
that's the difference of making an impact.
Information versus application, right? Right. All of those people we mentioned have practices.
Or have had,
where they are helping people clinically. Right. They actually have clinical experience. That's a good point. I didn't
think about that. All of them are doing things,
They have clinical experience behind them. So it's not just about sharing random information.
Yeah. So there's
and they all have things you can plug into to get additional help.
Right.
Whether it be coaching, whether it be an actual medical practice.
Free stuff or paid stuff.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a soapbox. Before we let's talk about, because it's not on this list, but it goes into what we're talking about.
Okay.
And that is the frustration you had recently with
doctors.
Doctors.
Most doctors.
Many doctors.
Yeah.
Right. And we were struggling with, how do we say this without creating a liability issue?
Because as coaches, we always have to do the disclaimer that we're
not doctors, we're not medical professionals.
You know what really bothers me though? For all nutrition and fitness programs, you have to have a disclaimer that is requiring your clients or expecting your clients, and they have to sign off,
validate that
they have to run it by their doctor before they can start any fitness or nutrition program.
Yeah.
However, medical doctors have practically zero training in nutrition and fitness. So why do you have to run it by your doctor? Like, that's the kind of thing that bothers me so much.
Right.
Like,
you're the fitness and nutrition professional.
But they have to get medical clearance to be able to participate in a nutrition or fitness program.
Yep.
And I get it for like if you have a heart condition, I understand that, right? If you have a particular diagnosis, because this is something I do always say in my coaching all the time, I cannot advise you on a medical diagnosis.
Right.
I cannot advise you about pharmaceuticals. I cannot advise you about the way supplements might interact with your medications and things of that nature.
We can't even say, when we have a new client coming on, we can't even say anything about insulin resistance or metabolic syndrome.
Right.
We cannot technically
diagnose, treat, or cure
or prescribe. We can't
Okay.
prescribe nutrition. We can't prescribe anything. So we can help you with lifestyle management to improve your body composition. That's where it
And your
stops.
general health.
And your general health and fitness. That's where it stops. So
Yeah.
do we know from experience that doing the things that we're going to talk about are going to improve your insulin resistance, reduce your stress, right? Help improve your blood work.
Right.
Like, we know all of those things. Your metabolic syndrome is probably going to get better. If you have an autoimmune, it's probably going to get better. All of these things, right? We know those things are going to happen because those things are lifestyle problems. So we're going to come and say, hey, we're going to help you lose fat. Now, we know there's other things that are probably going to happen with that, but we can't directly talk about that. That's what we're working on.
And even as a nutritional therapy practitioner, I cannot prescribe a
Right.
meal plan for low thyroid function.
Right. That's why you see us come up with frameworks. Here's the framework for how to figure out your nutrition, because we are not allowed legally to give meal plans. We were just looking that up a couple weeks ago because that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he was really skeptical about that. And I was like,
this doesn't
no,
make any
we
sense.
can't.
We cannot prescribe individual meal plans, which is why you see bodybuilding coaches give everybody the same meal plan.
We can give sample meal plans.
We can give a sample. Here's what a meal plan could look like.
An example, a template. Yep.
And then technically you have to figure it out. So that's where some of the limitations that we have, because we're not medical doctors.
So, okay, the thing that frustrated me this week
good.
is...
You do that. I'm going to...
Bathroom break?
Coffee.
The coffee is running through. All right, so I'll share a little story time. So, one of the frustrations as it relates to the fitness side of things is, I write training programs, and I put my ladies are all doing training programs with me, whether it's group or individual custom. But I always say, as soon as they start working with me, I am a trainer. I am not a physical therapist. I'm not a physiotherapist, right? If you have injuries or you get injured during your training, during your time with me, I always push people to go see physical therapists. If you have had an injury in your past, and you might have a surgeon, you might have a pain management specialist, you may have a osteopath. These doctors are typically going to give you, let me just talk about pain management, because this is the thing that triggered me this week. My client, she knows who she is. She goes to see pain management. What do they do with pain management? If those of you who don't know or haven't worked with pain management before, it's essentially drugs. It's meds to kill your pain. Pain management. It is not to diagnose the root cause of your pain and heal it. And if this sounds familiar to many of you, it's a lot like chronic conditions. You go to a doctor, and what do they tell you a lot of the time? You're not sick enough yet, in so many words. Wait, let's watch this, and when you get worse, come back, and then we can do something about it. i.e., give you a pharmaceutical, give you a medication. And pain management, I see it all the time. It's steroid shots or painkillers so you don't feel the pain. And then what else do they tell you, especially the osteopaths? Is that what you call them, osteopath?
Orthopedic.
Get off orthopedic surgeons, right? Stop moving. Don't train. Don't move. Don't do anything. Be sedentary. You have to fear doing any activity. Don't do anything that could cause pain or aggravate the pain, which I do recommend always for my clients. If you're training and you feel pain versus soreness, pain versus tension on the muscle, there's a difference. And you do need to understand the difference between pain and discomfort, because discomfort is part of training and getting better. But pain is a signal, and we don't want you pushing through pain if you might be causing an injury. But what happens when you take painkillers, where you're on steroid injections, and you do things that would cause pain if you weren't on those medications, but now you can't feel the pain because you're on the medication, which is blunting
making
the
whatever the problem is worse.
You're likely to make it worse. So when they tell you, take this steroid and don't move your body and come back in a week if it's worse, and if it's not worse, we're not doing anything else to do an x-ray, and this is what a client was told. We won't do an x-ray or an MRI unless it gets worse while you're on the steroids.
Here's a concept I want everyone to understand. The best chance you have for a doctor to give you a holistic solution to a problem you're having, regardless of the problem, is going to be your general practitioner. I'm not saying it's a good chance, but the best chance, and here's why. The more general the practitioner, the more opportunities for them to look at a broader range of things that could be affecting and causing your problem. Okay? Now, that being said, on the flip side, the more specialized the medical professional, the less chance there is of them understanding cascade effects of how one thing over here could be causing the problem that they're looking at over here. So when you have a problem in your shoulder and your general practitioner refers you to an orthopedic surgeon, right, or whatever specialty it may be, right, you have less of a chance of that orthopedic surgeon understanding the mechanics of the shoulder and how the entire upper body works to cause that problem. Because he's not looking at the cause of the problem. His specialty is in physically, mechanically repairing the damage. The damage, not the cause of the damage. He doesn't know why it happened. He doesn't know what you've been doing. He doesn't know what... Has anybody ever been to an orthopedic surgeon and they asked to do a movement analysis to see how you move? Has anybody ever been to get knee replacement surgery and they said, what does your gait look like? Get on this treadmill and walk so we can see how you move. Or a hip surgery or any of these things, right? No, they're not looking at the movement. They're not looking at the whole person. They're looking at this joint has this tear. I'm going to fix that tear. Don't do anything that's going to mess it up. Well, I don't know what I'm doing that messed it up in the first place.
And this is, I tell my clients to push to get that referral for a PT, a physical therapist, because a lot of the time, unfortunately, you won't be referred to a physical therapist first. That's going to be your rehab after your surgery.
Right.
And that's a lot of the time the only time that they recommend or they refer you to a PT.
Which is backwards. It should be
so backwards.
I'm having this problem, go to PT.
Because you could correct
it right?
before you need surgery.
Yeah.
Grr.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, and this is one of the pushes that I know Nutrition Network is trying to push, and we're doing things trying to educate medical professionals. It's one we did the course last year on exercise as medicine, because the one thing that most people can do to improve most of their problems is just get stronger.
Yes. And when you're being
told...
Most
knee pain it comes from weak legs.
Weakness in the muscles surrounding the knee because you don't have the stability.
Most lower back pain is coming from bad or weak core.
I can't tell you how many clients
all these things. So
came to me with it's always knee pain, usually.
Yeah.
Came to me with knee pain, didn't want to do lunges because it hurt.
They started doing lunges.
As they started doing lunges, it hurt less and less and less because they were building up the strength in their stabilizing muscles.
Yep.
So, all that to say...
to not say, because we can't say it.
Right.
We want to say things about who you should and shouldn't listen to. And what you should or shouldn't do when people tell you to do certain things or not to do certain things.
Yeah.
But we can't technically say that.
I know.
If it were me and my doctor said, hey, you're having this problem, stop doing everything and take the shot, I would say, probably not. Let me go talk to someone who can help me figure out why I'm having this problem.
Yep.
And go from there.
And I've paid out of pocket for a physical therapist because it mattered to me.
Right.
So if you're getting the runaround and you're getting stuck in all the red tape trying to make that happen through your insurance, I don't know about you, I don't know what you spend your money on, but I would rather spend my discretionary income on my health before I spend it on a handbag or a trip or clothing or shoes or anything else.
Yep. Oh, and I had to go back to the coffee because I didn't answer her question.
Oh, there's a question about coffee?
Well, yeah, it was that initial question from Jen. Should I not put creatine in coffee?
Oh.
I totally forgot about that. But Jonathan answered her, and that's why I'm going back to it.
Okay.
Jonathan said, this is Jonathan's answer, and he's right.
He's right.
So we don't need to say anymore. Creatine is stable at boiling temperatures. Only concern is if you leave it lingering where it can form creatinine and render it useless. So if you have creatine in your coffee, try to have it sooner. Don't let it sit.
Yeah, also I will just say some people experience gut disturbance when they put it in their coffee. I do it in my water.
Really? I've never seen that.
Yeah. I do it in my water. It's completely tasteless. It's not gritty. So there's no reason why you can't do it in your water.
Right. Or a shake or whatever.
I personally prefer
I put it in everything when I took it.
Yeah, I personally prefer not to put my powdered supplements in hot liquids anyway. I would rather put it in my water. That's just me.
Okay. Juliana said, if you watch Thomas DeLauer enough, he contradicts himself often.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Jonathan says DeLauer copes so hard, but his content is whack at times. That's the disclaimer for the lawyers. Don't sue me for what I just said for 30 minutes.
Well, that's the same thing. That was probably a comment about the science guys.
Right.
Right?
Top influencers are spending around $2,000 per month. Others have more complex setups, which are around 10. Many of them are making 200 plus per year, not including affiliates.
Right. And then their main business.
Affiliate agreements. And then if they have
their
own
main
business.
Right. Yeah.
That's UK doctors. If you're not dying, you don't get treatment.
Yes, I've heard
Dustin
that from my
says,
UK patient.
Pain management.
UK clients.
Pain management is the knee-jerk reactions to the crisis we got ourselves into. Instead of helping, they just Band-Aid instead of getting to the root cause. Mm-hmm. He's okay, Dustin. So he said his general practitioner in 2016 told me if I wanted to lose weight, I needed to be in ketosis, but he never went into detail on what that meant. Well,
that's so helpful.
At least some information, but hey, how do I do it? Yep. Aaron said, I missed part of this, but my GP is an osteopath and leans so much more toward the functional side. Love her. Good.
That's awesome.
Karen says, that's why I love my chiropractor. Pain in one spot is always an issue from somewhere else. Yes.
I'm a huge fan of chiropractors as well. There are good ones. There are quacks.
Yes.
Some people rail against chiropractors.
I've had very good experience with chiropractors.
I have had, yes. Honestly, they've done more for me in my 20 years of going to chiropractors than any other practitioner ever has. So.
Healthy Mama Marie. I experienced this with 2 different foot doctors. One watched my gait, posture, etc. The other one didn't even touch or look at my feet and just recommended their expensive arch supports. And
that's the thing, right? There are doctors that are more functional, and then there are doctors that are old school, traditional.
This is interesting. Rock and Keto Amy, this is discouraging. I'm going to Dr. Barry's PhD class, and all of the limitations are scary. I'm assuming limitations of what you're allowed to actually tell people what they can do.
Oh.
Right, as just a certified health and nutrition person, not an actual licensed,
you know what I will
board
say,
certified doctor.
Every certification that I've gotten, it has been disheartening throughout that process that they all give you the, what you can't do. At the very beginning, it's like, understand your scope. It's the first thing you learn.
You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. Yeah, and even if you really get into it, even within what you can do let's talk about nutrition specifically, even as a registered dietitian, not a registered dietitian, as a nutrition coach or nutritionist, In some states, you can't even call yourself a nutritionist because that has legal connotations.
Right.
In other states, you can, but you can't do, like,
Yes.
there's what, red, green, and yellow states, and all the different
colors,
levels
orange,
of what they're,
yellow, I think.
something like that, yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here's something, I don't know where this one came up. I'm just going to read what I have in here. Your body isn't designed to manage its weight. It's designed to function efficiently. Your weight will vary based on the quality of its performance and the environment you create for it.
Yeah, what was that about?
That was something, I don't remember if I read something or heard something. And I wanted to reiterate, because I think I've done a video on this before, or maybe we did a video. There's no such thing as ideal body weight. There is healthy and whatever your weight is when you're healthy. Our fixation on a specific number is not natural. Cavemen didn't have scales. Right?
Oh, that's
if
good.
you're healthy, you're going to weigh whatever you weigh when you're healthy. If you want to be at a specific weight, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But that doesn't determine health.
Yeah.
Okay? I am healthy as hell right now. And I have probably 15 pounds more body fat on myself than I would like. But I'm healthy. I'm at, what was it this morning? 17, just over 17%?
16, you dropped under 17.
Was I under 17? I dropped under 17?
Yeah.
Okay, just under 17% body fat. I don't want to be there. I'm trying to get closer to 10 right now because of this whole thing that we talked about last week. Right? I want to get shredded. I'm healthy. I'm happy. The goal that I have isn't health. And we need to I understand and separate, guys. Weight
Health
goals
and aesthetics
are not the same as health goals in most cases. Okay? You don't automatically become healthy when you get to a certain weight. It can help you get there. And it's part of the process, and you'll see your weight change as you improve your health. But when we focus on the number on the scale, we forget about the bigger picture. And that's really where I just wanted to remind everybody that weight is not health. Healthy does not have a weight.
Ooh. Now, I want to clarify this and say, this does not mean we're advocating for health at any size.
That is absolutely not what we're saying.
Because the truth is, if your weight is so excessive, that is simply a way of saying you are over fat.
Well, okay.
And there is such thing as having too much body fat and it negatively impacting your health.
Right. So Juliana has made this statement. I'm healthy, quotes, but still morbidly obese. So I'm with you. Right?
She's
Other
not
than my
morbidly
loosest,
obese.
yeah, I don't know about that.
You're not morbidly obese.
Other than my lupus only, I'm perfect. Only blood work, but I'm not ripped or shredded or even close. The most important thing is your ability to function and how well do you function. Yes, there are guidelines that we can look at from a weight perspective. And this is a very nuanced conversation, and like I don't want people to get hung up on this. But yes, there is a general. If we have somebody, and I look at it, I actually had this as a topic on my list of.
No, okay, let me just clarify. Morbid obesity and being obese on a BMI or a body composition chart is not the same thing.
Yeah. Morbidly obese is
Morbidly
what, over
obese is a
40,
much
something like
higher
that?
level of obesity.
Yeah, hold on, let's get the numbers specifically. What are the levels of obesity with BMI? I forget the numbers off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't remember because BMI is BS.
Right. Class 1 obesity, to be able to say you are obese, is 30 to 34, 34.9. Class 2 is 35 to 39. Class 3, morbidly obese, 40 or higher.
BMI, not body fat
BMI.
percentage.
Right. Severe obesity, 40 or higher.
What would it be for body fat percentage? I'd be curious.
There is none.
Is it not?
Nope. And so I was just going to say, this is something.
Because I would say, right,
that
maybe we don't want to fixate on the weight, but the body composition tells us so much more. Because you can be high body fat percentage and low body weight, and that is not healthy.
okay, 42% or higher for morbid obesity.
Okay, so morbid obesity is 42% or higher?
According to this.
That's lower than I thought it would be.
Yeah. For women, 30 for men.
Well, that makes sense, right? Because men are,
men
but still, yeah. So obese is considered 30% body fat or higher, and that's
Which
I
is
always recommend to my ladies, the first goal should always be getting under 30% body fat from wherever you're starting from.
Which is interesting because if I remember correctly, it's often stated that women can be up to 33% and still be healthy.
Normal.
But 30%
Normal
and
is not
above
healthy.
is obese.
Right.
So we do like people to be under 30.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I would focus more on that because, I mean, we see it all the time with women who are underweight, but also under muscled. And so by weight standards, they are not
So here's, okay.
overweight, and the weight doesn't mean much in that situation.
Right. And this is what I was saying is I'm looking to do one of my lists of studies. I haven't researched it yet, so there may be stuff out there already, is doing an opinion piece on replacing BMI with body fat percentage.
God, I would love it if that happened.
Right? Because
I love that.
BMI is so stupid. Again, it's one of those things we didn't have an ability to figure out body fat percentage when BMI was viewed, right? Like we had it. It's an old framework that we no longer need.
Yeah.
Like calories, old framework. We've got the technology and we've got the science.
So let's replace it.
Let's replace it with something that's actually more scientific and valid and applicable to the human body. Body fat percentage. I see this argument all the time and it drives me absolutely crazy.
What?
Why do East Asians have the highest consumption of carbohydrates and the least obesity rate? And it's like, yeah, but they've got one of the top 5, I believe, metabolic syndrome, top 10 diabetes, top 5 insulin resistance. Like, they are skinny fat. They're not big people in general, but their percentage of body fat is far higher than most other people in other countries. And that's part of the reason. We're looking at BMI, so we've got a bunch of small people with low BMIs who are dying faster than people who aren't.
That
and
speaks
that's
volumes.
Like, guys, it's the body fat percentage. It's the amount of muscle mass. How big you are doesn't mean squat when it comes to that in comparison. So that drives me crazy.
Yep.
Oh, it drives me crazy. God. Okay. So just the idea, guys. Improve your health. Your body fat will, your body composition will follow.
One more thing?
One more thing.
What is this? What you got?
This is a message, and none of them are probably watching, because I don't think anybody that watches us would do this.
Oh gosh.
For those of you who are watching who have your own channels, are influencers or coaches or whatever else, I have seen an increase lately in content. Part of this is from the fact that more than ever, particularly in the carnivore space, the growth of influencers, new influencers in the carnivore community is exploded. I cannot go on TikTok or Instagram any day and not see new accounts. Somebody I've never heard of, never seen before. And they're all usually smaller because they're new, right? They're growing, they're getting started. And it's all, I'm not gonna say it's all, I wanna say that's a little dramatic. I have seen an overwhelming amount of content recently from all of these new people coming in. And a lot of it has been things like, if you're calling what you do dirty carnivore or dirty keto, then it's not carnivore, it's not keto, you don't know what you're talking about, stop
using that term.
And I want to reach through my freaking phone and just say, who the hell do you think you are? That the whole idea of meeting someone where they're at, number one, if you're really trying to help people.
Once again, it goes back to what is the intent of these channels?
Number two, nobody can define what is good for you. And if you are listening, if you see somebody on there who is advocating only one way to do something, unsubscribe, unfollow, turn around and walk away. They are not worth your time. They are not worth your time. There is nothing that person is going to tell you that's going to be more informative than someone who's going to try to understand what works for other people. Okay, here's why this matters. Anybody who is locked in on this is the way to do it can only give you one solution. And when what they give you doesn't work, they don't have an answer. If you have someone who you can go to and get information from who has a broad experience and understands that everybody's coming at this from a different direction, then you know when I get to a point and things stop, I can still get information from them that's going to help me figure out what to do next.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So dogma limits your progress. Dogma limits your growth, and it puts whatever you're doing into somebody else's bucket. Guess what, guys? That bucket ain't your life.
Dustin nailed it. Their answer is always, you're not trying enough.
You didn't do it. You didn't carnivore hard enough.
Or you're lying.
Right. Oh my God.
That's all they're going to do is say, you're lying about not doing this. You must not actually be doing it then.
Right.
That's not helpful. Consider too, like,
That's what is their... Is it helpful? No,
what
it's not
has their
helpful.
experience been? If they were living standard American diet and then one day went carnivore and that's their only frame of reference.
Yeah.
And they, all of a sudden, everything's perfect now that they're carnivore. And that's the only experience they have with it. They've never tried anything else. They haven't had anything that they've had to troubleshoot along their carnivore journey. Like, you've got to consider the source.
Yeah.
And the background of this person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. This is a little, how do I say this? On your journey, you're going to run across people that you want to get information from to help you on your journey. You're going to want to get that scientific information. You're going to want to get the methods and the concepts and the protocols and figure out different things. But there's also an aspect, and this is where a lot of influencers come from, is who else is doing this and what are they doing? There's a curiosity factor. There's a social proof factor. And there's nothing wrong with following influencers who are out there doing it to see their journey, to help motivate you and know that, hey, they're struggling, I'm struggling, it's okay, it's part of the process, we can get through this together, and have that kind of sense of you're not alone in this change and things that you're doing. Please, please, please understand the difference. And don't fall for, this person is an influencer and I'm watching their journey, and somehow morph that into, I need to do what that person's doing. Unless that person is specifically focused on educating themselves and understanding the process of why these things are happening and doing things purposefully and intentfully to experiment and go through a regimented process of progress, that's not probably going to help you very much. Okay, and here's the two words, they both start with E, that you need to be aware of. One group is entertainment, the other group is education. They are not the same. Please don't mix them up.
And let's say you're watching someone whose context is very similar to your own. You're going through a similar journey, right? Like, this is usually why we're drawn to certain, especially the influencers who are sharing their journey.
Right.
They're not trying to be experts. They'll actually tell you, I'm not an expert, I'm just sharing what I'm doing. If you get ideas from them, that's wonderful.
Right.
That's a place to start. What you need to do there is now go do your own research. Don't just take their word for it and run out and buy the supplement that they're taking, or run out and do the protocol that they're doing because it's working for them and they have a similar context. That should be the starting point to say, oh, they're using this supplement. Well, let me do some research about this supplement. Let me learn more.
Yeah.
Before you just
Let me join Coach Bronson's Science Club and see if there's any research on it, and then we can talk about it.
Yep. All right.
Education versus entertainment, 100%. I still watch a channel or two, and it went away.
It doesn't stay up long enough.
I know, right?
We almost made it through a video without any innuendo.
I still watch a channel or two, but I absolutely view them as my keto TV show on the Food Network versus educational information.
Yes.
Juliana said that's what she said. Okay.
Did all the questions?
We did get some questions.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Let's see here. Let's see, going back down. Okay, I'm not overweight, I'm just under tall.
For your BMI, right? Exactly.
Justin says you can be morbidly obese on the BMI scale, but not on the body fat percentage scale. Correct. I'm obese, guys.
Right.
I am obese.
They don't look at lean mass. So if you have more lean mass.
Dustin said, it's crazy how many carnivore creators there are. Yeah, dude, every day I see another 2 or 3 accounts. It's crazy. Marie says, yes, my sister-in-law was heavy, went on Ozempic and lost 60 pounds. She looks like a deflated balloon, but she ridicules my lifestyle of eating healthy and training. Yeah, there's most of the time when you see people looking for the fastest way to lose weight, they're going to lose weight and they miss the idea because they're focused on the weight, not on their health.
Right.
The biggest lie we've been told in society today is that weight is health. It's everything we do is focused on weight. That's why calories are so important. That's why we don't get we get nutrition stuff in labels, but not all of it. That's why the focus is on calories, not on actual nutrient density.
Yep.
Right? Everything is about weight management. Because that's what we've been told is
weight management and pain management. That's all we get.
It's all symptom management. All right, and that's all we got.
Alrighty, so we got to pick a winner.
Pick a winner. Ooh, I was thinking, where'd it go? Nope, that's not it. How do I get to the chat?
Click on
back
that.
Here. That's not
no,
it.
What happened?
I don't know. Oh, the chat went away. Live chat. There we go.
There it
Came
is.
back.
Okay. Who was it? I was looking at. There was a good question. There was a question in there somewhere.
Looking.
I think it was earlier.
Here, I'll let you pick. You look and pick.
I will pick.
Oh, Jennifer just said something though. Go to the bottom. What'd she say?
OMG, wow, this sounds like my old diet mentalities and why I failed and quit so many times. Because doctors and others told me I wasn't doing their thing the right way. Mm-hmm. Boom. Rocking Keto Amy said, I've also done PSMF fasting.
Yep. A lot of people do. And I've used PSMF.
Oh, wait, she said something before that. Oh. I'm so glad I've been on all levels of the PhD spectrum. I've tried everything. Atkins, low carb, keto, and carnivore, and PSMF fasting.
Okay. Yeah. Try it all, guys. I mean.
Well, don't just try it all.
No, I mean, obviously, like I said, intentful.
When things are not working, take a look at what you're doing, and there's likely something that you can change.
Like I've used PSMF when I was working with a client who was stalled for months. And we did probably 4 or 6 weeks. I don't remember how long we did it. We did some PSMF for a few weeks and kicked her right in. Anything good?
Well, the only we had a question from Jen Culbertson.
We did?
About the creatine in coffee.
Yep. We had a couple other questions, but we addressed them. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Well, we had one when we first hopped on.
That was Jen.
That was Jen. All right, you know what?
Is Jen still on? That's the question.
Jen, are you still on? Drop a comment. Let us know.
If you're still on, Jen, then you can win.
Because she got.
If you're not on, then if it's not Jen, if she's not on, then it's going to be Rockin' Keto Amy, I think. Because she's also got that number 3. So she's been engaged.
Do they give you these for each
the first 3
video?
People, yeah, the first 3 people to comment.
Oh, the first 3 people. Oh, that's cool. I'm learning things about YouTube all the time.
I think it's going to be Amy.
Yeah, she got in before Jen, and she's still on.
Yep. All right, Amy, you got it. Shoot us a message, a DM on Instagram or Facebook, and we will get your info so we can get you a bag. Oh, Jen's on. We might have to do both.
Oh, snap.
We might have to do both of them.
All right, we're going to have to ask Keto Brains to give us an extra bag this week.
Jen and Amy this week.
Woo-woo.
So contact us. We'll get your mailing info, and you guys get a bag of Keto.
Okay, it's not the first 3 to comment. It's the most engaging.
Oh, is it really?
So that's going to tell us.
Oh, that's going to tell us then. Okay.
Who's the most engaged with us each week?
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
So it will be Jen and Amy and Dustin.
For this week?
For this week.
Jen
top 3.
Culberson got a number 3 too, so I'm confused.
Right. Well, because it changes based on when they...
Oh, I see what you mean.
How much they comment.
Okay.
I post a word at a time. That doesn't count, Juliana. Oh my God. What are you doing?
You gotta help the algorithm.
All right. Why is it back to you?
I don't know. Oh, you went backwards in the playback.
Oh, is that how that
top
works?
fans. So
Yeah.
Rockin' Keto Amy got number 1 this week.
Okay.
Or is that in general?
That's just for this call, for this episode.
Cool. All right.
Learning more about this.
Sit here and watch us.
Yeah, right. Thank you for joining. We'll see you guys next week. This is our new format. We're just going to talk about random stuff that we see throughout the week. Please send us things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drop a comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about next week. See you then.